Hello everyone, this is Siddharth, and in this video we will be solving another question from the list that I have shared in the starting of this playlist. So if you don't know what we are doing in this playlist, we are solving all those questions which are related to each other. So we can able to memorize all those standard processes and methods that we will be using frequently in the upcoming questions, and we will use these concepts so that we can build intuition for other problem as well and able to solve them as well. So I would suggest that you can watch from the first video of this playlist and start solving the question from there. Then you can able to generate intuition for the next problem as well, and you can see this just by following first video up to 4 to 5 videos. Then you will get it why we are making this playlist. So let's solve this question as well. This is has 8 to 1 on lead code, which is shortest distance to a character. So what we have to do, we have to calculate the shortest distance of this c character that we have given from each character. So suppose this is L, so the nearest E, as C is equals to E, so the nearest E which is to this L is at this distance 3 from it, that you can see as well, LOVE. So this is at the third, the distance between these two will be 3. So we will be storing that 3 at its index, and this is what we have to do for each character. And the distance of C from the C itself will be 0. So obviously in this question also we will be using two pointer approach as we are currently on that. So now I will suggest that you can pause video and then try to solve this using two pointer approach. Now let's move on how we will be solving this. So love lead code is the string that we have given. So LOVE, then LEETCODE. So what we have to do, we can make two pointer left. So first we will traverse this string from the left side and try to store the index, uh, from this character C, which is E in the first case, from the left side. Then we will do the same from the right side as well. We will try to calculate the distance of this character C, which is E in this case, from the right side as well. Then we will store the minimum distance, like suppose from this E, the distance of this O is 2, and from this E, the distance of this is 3. So we have to take this 2, minimum one, and we have to store that. Now for this, we have to keep, we can make a previous pointer. We will be making two pointers. That will going to be previous. So what we will do, we will uh, first we will initialize this previous pointer to the integer dot minimum value, because as we have to calculate the distance from the left side, so this will going to be the index, that is previous, sorry, the current index minus the previous one. So this will calculate the distance from the previous side, that will going to be previous. So this previous will be pointing to integer dot minimum value. So when we will try to subtract it from the correct index, then this will came out to be larger value. So this will came out to be larger value, because from the second pass, that is from right to left, we will have to try to calculate the minimum distance. So if we will not initialize it with the higher value, then answer will can come wrong. That's why we are using integer dot minimum value here for this, so that because we will have to subtract it from the previous value. So when we will subtract a negative value uh, from the positive value, then it will become positive and it will come out to be a greater value. So that on the second pass, when we will be revisiting this array from the right side and try to calculate the minimum distance, then we will be using math dot min. So when we will calculate this came out to be the right result. Otherwise it can came wrong, because if this is negative, then the minimum of positive and negative will came out to be negative, and distance cannot be negative. So that's why we are initializing it. Now we will calculate the distance of each word from the left side, and then we will calculate the right side and take minimum of those two. So this is the concept that we will be using. First we will be making a result array list, and that's what we have to return. and then we will be initializing a previous pointer, and then we will be visiting this array from the left side and uh, try to store the result from the left side of the C. So let's try to solve this. So first we have to, like, let's calculate the length of this array. So it's int n is equals to s dot length, and now let's try to make a previous pointer that will be like pointing to integer dot minimum value. Sorry for that. uh, okay, now what we have to do, we have to start traversing from the left side. So for int I is equal to 0, I should be less than n, and then I plus plus. Now we have to check if the uh, what we have to check, we have to check if that the distance of this current character from E, or we can say the correct character, if that is E. In the else condition we will take that. So if the character which is at the current index, if that is equals to the C value, then what we have to do, we have to just point this previous pointer to this I, which is currently pointing to the integer dot minimum value, and let's take half value of it. Otherwise the for the larger value this will exceed the integer limit. So this after storing this, we will be like getting the current index of the C value for this, let me tell you. So the like after we will reach to this character, the index of this will going to be 3. So we will be storing our previous pointer to 3. Now what we have to do after that, we have to calculate the distance of this E from the current value. So from the left side. So that's why we can, what we can do, we can subtract it from the previous value. That's what I have told here. So in the else part, when we are encountering other character than C, we have to calculate the distance of it from the other uh, from that character. So for that we can store the value of result I is equals to I minus previous. So this will store the distance of the character which is not equal to the C, or the character that we have to find the distance from. Now let's initialize another pointer. Now let's name it at previous as well. So previous, now we will initialize it with integer dot maximum value, as we have to uh, we we want a minimum value. So for comparison we have to take this, and then we will divide it by 2, so that the result will not exceed the maximum value of integer. Now we just have to traverse from the right side. So int I should be starting from n minus 1, and I should be greater than equals to 0, and then I minus minus. Now what we have to check, we have to check for the same, if the s dot char at index I, if that is equal to C, then we just have to store this previous to that I value. Otherwise or we can don't have to take this else condition, uh, because it is automatically stored that for each step. And now we just have to take here as well. So result I should be math dot minimum of the result I itself and the previous minus I. So this will calculate the distance of each character uh, from the character C, and it will take minimum of these two, because after like moving from left to right, the result arrays already get filled up from the left side, and now we have to do it for the right side as well, and then take the minimum of those two, as we have to find the minimum distance. And in the last we just have to return this result array. So now let's try to run this. Okay, now let's make it right. Result. Okay, so we haven't made a result array. So let's, so result is equals to new int, and we will be like initializing it with length of the string that we have given. Okay, now let's try to submit it as well. Okay, so we have successfully solved this question. So let me summarize it for you. So first we have find the distance of each character from the left side of this given character. That's what we have done. That is I minus previous. So this I is the index of the correct character, and this previous is the index of the C character that we have given. So initially the C is pointing to the negative value, larger negative value, because as we have to subtract I minus previous. So this what it does, until and unless we will not encounter C, we will be storing a higher positive value, so that while we will traverse from the right side, we will get the correct output. So we are subtracting it from the previous value. So this will going to be storing that in the array. Now for as soon as we will encounter this IE, then we will be calculating like the distance of the character from this E. So that will going to be here, the index of this L will going to be 0 1 2 3 4. So this will be subtracting 4 minus 3, that is 1. So the distance of this L will going to be 1, and for this character it will going to be integer dot maximum value divided by 2. And That's what we have to do for each character. And as we will visit from the right side, we will be having the least distance of each character from the C. So okay, see you in the next video. Bye.